Good morning and welcome to Stretch Saturday. Good morning, welcome to Stretch Saturday. Okay, let's find ourselves a space and let's get ourselves warmed up. So today we're just going to move from side to side. Start off with nothing kind of major. We'll start by moving our arms. Just move our arms. So our arms move from side to side as well. Nice and gently. Just ease our body into it. That's it. Nice, big kind of movements. It's almost like we're feeling like you're giving our body a great big hug as we're doing it. Nice and gently. We're going to turn those arm movements now into some windmills. Bring them around in big circles out in front of us. Giant circles. Stretching forward, reaching backwards, all the way around. Okay. We're going to reverse these now. So we're going to turn that into going backwards so that we can stretch as far back as we can. If you find you're clicking or popping or anything like that, that's quite normal. It's kind of how the body works. It's getting all those kind of bits of fluids in all the right kind of places. And, you know, as we're kind of getting older, these things probably happen a little bit more. So just embrace it. But use this time, just feel how our body feels. Where's it achy? Where's it painful? Which bit's working nice? Which bit's a little stiff? You know what to concentrate on. Okay, bring our arms up to the sides, so shoulder height. We're going to turn one palm up and push our body over to that side. Turn the other palm up and push our body to that side. And same again. Back to the other palm, turning up and push our body over. Keep nice and rhythmic, really lean and stretch and feel like you're grabbing out all the way to the side. Keeping your feet planted firmly on the ground. That's it, all the way over. Nicely done. Okay, keep your arms out straight again. Now we're going to work the elbows. So I'm just going to work the elbows around. Sometimes it helps if you put your thumbs up. We're going to take them in big circles going round in one direction. As you're doing this, you'll feel you have to twist your wrist as you get to one part. That's fine. That's exactly what you're supposed to do. Your arms are not designed to be able to go around in circles infinitely without doing so. And then go the opposite direction as well. That's it. All the way around. Okay, bring your arms down to the side. Your shoulder might be aching a little bit. So we're just going to shrug the shoulders. Just bring your shoulders up to your ears. Yep, so you can get your shoulders to touch your ears all the way up. That's it, nicely done. Okay, I'm going to round the shoulders. So really bring them in. Feel like we're opening the back of our backs up, stretching our shoulder blades away from each other, squeezing our chest. Kind of bringing these in. We've got the opposite direction now. I'm going to squeeze our shoulder blades together. Feel like I'm trying to grab a pencil behind them. Feel like we're opening out our chest really big, stretching across all the way across our fronts. That's it. Nicely done. All the way around. Okay. And from there, we're now going to bring ourselves into some trunk rotations. So rotating all the way around to the left, as far as we can go, keeping our feet firmly planted on the ground. Back to centre, and then all the way around to the right, as far as we can go. And back to the centre, all the way to the left, and all the way to the right. Okay. Move a bit further down our body. We're now going to go to our hips. We're going to go for some hip flicks. That's it, just flicking the hips side to side. Nice big movement at the end. Really feel that kind of power you've got in your hips. It would be remiss of me to not mention this is exactly what you use for righting your canoe if you go upside down, or your kayak even. That's it. Nice, big movements. Okay, from there, we're going to move into hip thrusts. So always at the front, then all the way behind, pushing our backside backwards, forwards, and backwards, forwards, and backwards. Nice, big movements. That's it. And then into hip rotations, all around in one circle. As a good friend of mine, Dave McConaughey, would say, pretend you're in a box, and the only thing to make the box bigger is moving your hips around, so make it the biggest box you possibly can do. All the way around. And in the opposite direction, go around nice big circles again. That's it. Oh yeah. If there's any kind of tightness or anything like that, just feel it, just know where it is. And hopefully over the next part of the session, we'll hopefully start to work on those. Make that feel a little bit less tight as we stretch them out. Okay, and stop that. We're going to move down to our knees. We're going to bend our knees, put our hands on our knees, and we're going to do some knee rotations all the way down in one direction. So bending our knees forwards, rotate them round, up straight, and back again. Nicely, all the way around. And the opposite direction. That's it, all the way around again. Oh, look, it's a clicking coming from my knees. And then stand up straight. We're going to move down and do our ankles now. You might find you will need something to hold on to for balance. So if you do need to, grab hold of some. If not, you can hop just stand and use the balance as well for yourself. And what we're going to do is we're going to 1 foot off the ground and rotate the ankle in one direction, all the way around. Draw as big a circles as you can. And then in the opposite direction, draw circles, again, as big as you possibly can. Okay, switch legs. Again, nice, big circles. All the way around, and then in the opposite direction. Oh, even the ankles are clicking this morning. That's it. Nice big circles. Okay, and from there, I'm going to move back up. We're going to go back to our hands. And what I'd like us to do is just to flick our wrists. So just keep our arms just at 90 degrees and we'll just flick our wrists down. It's almost like we've got a mad day in the office, typing all those emails, sending all those letters, everything else that needs to kind of get done, proposals being written, contracts being created, documents being made. And this is one of Gemma's favourites. And palms up. So again, still flicking the wrists, warming them up, and palms back down, and palms back up again. And palms back down. Okay, put your elbows together, interlace your fingers, and roll the wrists all the way around. That's it. Try to get a little bit quicker, and a little bit quicker still. Okay, slow it down, slow it down. That's it. Okay, what I'd like you to do now is undo your fingers, and I'd like you to move them one finger along so you interlace them in the opposite direction. And I'd like you to now start to roll your wrists in the opposite direction as well. So this might feel a bit weird. You know, we all have a more dominant side. But it means that we just have to be conscious so that we practice both sides. So we have bilateral learning, bilateral movement, not just everything being one-sided. So you can get that a little bit quicker. You'll probably find you're not necessarily as quick as the more dominant side, but you know, keep going. And for those of you that are ambidextrous, are very lucky to be able to use both sides. Nicely done. Hopefully you're going a lot quicker than I am at this point then. Okay, slow that down. Move your hands down. Now we're nice and warmed up. We're going to move to our neck joints, our atlas and axis joints. And I'm just going to start by simply looking over to our left and then looking to our right. Just look as far as you can. So there's nothing about it's like overstraining. Literally is just look as far as you possibly can. Bring the head back to center. Now we're going to lean over to the left. Try to bring our ear to our shoulder this time. Lean to our right. Keep our shoulders down as we do this. We should feel that stretch down the sides of our neck, possibly over the top of our shoulders as well. Always left again and always to the right again. Just keep working it gently on both sides. Okay, back to the center. Look down to your chest. Look up at the ceiling. Again, just take it as far as you can. Far as feels comfortable. No overstretching. That was the one. Just warming up our neck joints. Okay. Right, so check that out. Hopefully feel a little bit warmer now. Let's go through our stretching process. So we're going to go through each of our muscle groups and look at how to do one really easy basic stretch, which we can do at any time. We can do this anytime during the day. It's really useful to do these after you've exercised that specific muscle group when you finish training, to give it that little bit of stretch. What we're also going to do is do a little bit of developmental stretching, which means that we're going to do 2 sets of each stretch afterwards. So normally you're just okay to stretch the once. By adding in that little bit extra, we're going to go that a little bit further and allow us to effectively stretch that muscle out that a little bit more. Why is this going to work? Well, there's a couple of kind of key things. One is, as we kind of work in our muscles kind of get pulled together, sometimes creating these micro fractures within the muscle. So afterwards, what we're looking to do is kind of stretch them out so I can remove some of those muscles that are kind of being bunched together. That's the first part of stretching and why that works. The second part, when we look at the developmental stretching, we want to stretch them out a little bit further, not a huge amount, just a little bit more, because that gives it the room and space that it needs to then grow. And as we've talked about before, the bigger we can grow our muscles, then the more inefficient our body becomes in many respects, the more calories it burns, but actually the more power, the more strength, the more endurance, etc. is also going to help us to create as well by applying the stimulus that we use for our training. So stretching is an absolutely fantastic and fundamental way of being able to make sure that we're going to maximize the best potential we have in our bodies. Okay, so let's make a start. We're going to start off by stretching out our chest. So just to remind ourselves, our chest is that big muscle that goes across our pectoral muscle. The big muscle goes across our chest. Anchor point, origin point is at the sternum. Anchors over at your shoulder. And the idea is it allows you to push things away from you. So if you put your hand on your chest, or your chest muscle is, if you squeeze and push your arm away as if you're pushing something to push up or moving something away from your body, you should feel that muscle kind of squeeze. In fact, you can probably grab hold of it when you put your hands into your armpit, certainly at that point. Oh, hello. And then from there, to be able to stretch it, we need to go the opposite direction, to basically move it in the opposite way. So what we're going to do is we're going to apply a bit of pressure to push our body backwards by putting our arm up against the wall. Keep our arm at 90 degrees up against the wall. And we're going to push in and feel the stretch at this point. So go find yourself a bit of wall space. I'm going to use a wall here. I'm going to put the arm up so it's at shoulder height. I'm going to put my leg that's nearest the wall forward. So I'm going to use that to lean into. I'm going to find where that stretch point is, which for me is about there. And I'm going to hold it. I'm going to hold it 15 seconds. Okay, and release. Okay, I'm going to do it one more time. So you can feel that stretch. Just kind of move into it, find that stretch point, and now move just a little bit more and hold it. And release. Okay, remember when we're finding these points, it's a stretch, it's not pain. Anywhere you start getting pain, just stop. Now I'm going to flip to the other side. Again, what I find is the leg nearest the wall works best for me. So I can then lean into that leg, lean into the wall, find the stretch point and hold it. and release. One more time, find that stretch point, hold it, and release. Okay. Right, so now we should hopefully feel we've had a bit of a stretch of our chest. We're going to move now on to our next muscle group. We're going to look at our arms. We're going to start off with our biceps. So remember, in our biceps, origin points at the shoulder, anchor points down by the elbow. And the idea with your bicep is it allows you to squeeze and pull your arm in towards yourself. So it's a kind of a pull motion towards yourself. So for us to stretch it, we need to go in the opposite direction. We need to be able to push it the opposite way. So very similar to what we've just done with the chest stretch. We're going to apply a little bit of pressure, like on the heel of our hands against the wall. Make sure our bicep is turning forward, and we're going to lean into that so we can feel the stretch across our bicep. So go find that bit of wall space again, ensuring that our bicep is turned forwards. Again, I have like the leg that's closest to the wall. I find the easiest way of being able to apply a little bit of pressure and stretch, lean into it, find that stretch point and hold it. And release. One more time, find that stretch point and hold it. And release. Okay, now we're going to go for the other arm. Exactly the same thing. So push it against the wall, find an anchor with the heel of your hand. Make sure your bicep is turned forward. Find that stretch point and hold it. And release. One more time. Find that stretch point and hold it. And release. Okay, check that out. We've now done both the arms. Okay, now we're going to go through the back of our arms, so into our triceps. So our triceps push the arm down, so it's straightening it. In fact, if you put your hand on the back of your arm, and when you feel yourself squeeze, you should feel that kind of tricep move. And if you actually slightly move your fingers round, you should feel it's like got a horseshoe shape just at the bottom where all the heads kind of come out. Same again, origin point is at the shoulder, anchor points down by your elbow, and that's that kind of motion we're looking for. So for us to be able to get a stretch on it, we need to be able to almost like squeeze the arm like we do with the biceps, and then feel like we can get that a little bit further to feel the stretch in our tricep itself. So to do that, what we're going to do is put the arm over our head, bring our hand down our back. And there's two ways of doing this. If you've got the mobility to do so, grab hold of your hands, and you can like pull your arm down to that tricep position. The alternative is grab hold of your elbow and pull your elbow over. If you also apply a little bit of a lean in the body in the direction that you're pulling, you can find you get a better stretch there across your tricep as well. So find that stretch point and hold it. And release. One more time. Arm up. Find that stretch point. Go a little bit further and hold it. And release. Okay, we're going to do the same on the other arm. So arm up. Whether you're grabbing hold of your hand or your elbow, find the stretch point and hold it. And release. And one more time. Find that stretch point and hold it. And release. Okay. Right, so that's both of our arms done. Now we're going to move into stretching for our back. We've got two different exercises in two slightly different directions for stretching our back. The first one, we're going to look to stretch over to the sides. So we're going to bring one arm up or whip over our heads. With our other hand, we're going to grab hold of that wrist and we're going to pull that wrist over to the side. Feel a great big stretch down our sides. Okay. And hold it. And release. Okay, one more time. All the way up. Find the stretch point Hold it. And release. Now we're going to do the other arm. So bring the other arm up, grab hold of the wrist, pull it over, find the stretch point, and hold it. And release. One more time, all the way up, grab hold of our wrist, find our stretch point, and hold it. And release. Okay, from there, I'm going to do a stretch that to me feels like you're on a diving board. So you can bring both our arms up, forwards, and we're going to bring our body round. We're going to round the whole of our back and try to stretch down as far as we can with our hands without necessarily bending our knees. Find that stretch point and hold it. And release. One more time, arms up, bending over as far as you can. Finding that stretch point, push that a little bit more and hold it. And release. Okay, nicely done. Okay, we're going to move down now to work on our legs. So we're going to start off with with a quad stretch. Again, you might want to grab hold of something for a little bit of balance. If you don't need it and you want to work on your balance as well, absolutely fantastic. You don't have to do it. And what we're going to do is we're going to bring our leg up, grab hold of our ankle, bring our our heel as close to our bottom as we can. I'm going to pull that in because with a quad, utilize that to straighten our leg and has lots of motion. So by squeezing and getting as close to our bottom, that's where we're going to get the stretch across our quad. If you find that you can quite easily get your heel to your bottom, and you want to apply a bit more of a stretch, just lean forwards and feel that stretch. When you find that stretch point, hold it. And release. And one more time. Same again, heel to bottom. Find that stretch point and hold it. And release all the way down. Okay. And we're going to do exactly the same on the other leg. So again, heel to bottom. Find your stretch point and hold it. And release. One more time. Grab hold of your ankle, heel to bottom. Find your stretch point and hold it. And release. Okay, so we've now stretched our quads. We're going to move into stretching down the back of our legs, stretching our hamstrings and our calves. So with both of these, the hamstring kind of pushes our legs forwards, the calf pulls our toes down. So it kind of gives that kind of motion. So for us to stretch, we're going to use what's known as a runner's stretch. So we're going to put one leg forwards. We're going to curl our toes up, so we're pulling our toes towards ourselves. We're going to bend our rear leg, so we can start to feel the stretch down the back of our hamstring. With our hands, just put them above our knees and apply a little bit of pressure so you can feel that stretch down both. I'm going to hold it. And release. And then one more time, back into that kind of runner stretch position. Apply a little bit of pressure, just a little bit more maybe, and hold it. And release. Okay. From there, switch legs. So the other leg goes forwards. We bend our supporting leg. Pull our toes up. Hand just above our knee. Gently apply some pressure so we can feel a stretch in the back of our hamstrings and hold it. And release. One more time. Find the space, push it a little bit more, just a little bit, and hold it. And release. Okay, so we've kind of stretched up our legs. What we're going to do now is we're going to move down to the ground. what I'd like us to do is put our legs out straight, and with our body, create like a T shape with our arms. So our arms are both going out to the side at the same height as our shoulders. We're going to take our right leg, bring it up, tuck the foot under our left leg, and then keeping our arms touching the ground and our shoulders touching the ground, twist our body to the left. So try and get our knee as close to the ground as we can. You know, you might be able to do this really well. Some of us might not. But it doesn't really matter. The whole point is about the feeling. It's not about touching the ground. It's about the feeling you've got down your back, across your chest, in your glutes. So find that kind of stretch feeling and hold it. And release. So bring yourself back to center. And one more time, pushing your knee down towards the left, rotating the whole of your body, keeping your shoulders on the ground. Try and move just a little bit more and hold it. And release. Okay, legs out straight again. Now taking our left leg, we're going to bring our left leg up, tuck our left foot underneath our right knee, or as close as we can. Keeping our shoulders on the ground and our hands. Rotate over to our right. Try and get our left knee as close to the ground as we can. Feel that stretch down our back, our glutes, and in our chest. And hold it. Release. Okay, one more time. Pushing over to our right. Find that stretch point. So you can go that little bit more and hold it. Release. Okay, bring our legs up straight. We're going to roll over onto our fronts now and come onto all fours with our shoulders over our hands and our knees under our hips. We're going to do some what we call angry cat stretch, or what Davey calls angry cat stretches. I always do like when Davey describes them. So if you imagine you've got a piece of string attached to your belly button, and you're going to pull that string up as far as you go around your body, as far as you're going to get to the ceiling, tucking your head under and in between your arms. Continue to feel that stretch, continue to feel that pull up. Okay, when we finish that, we're going to pull that string now so that your belly button gets as close to the ground as you can. Look up to the ceiling and move into cow kind of pose. So you're pushing your backside up, pushing your head up, bringing your belly button as close to the ground as you can. Keep your arms straight. And invert that again. So again, pull that belly button up towards the ceiling, head tucked in, really feel that kind of stretch across your back. And then invert as you pull down to the ground, looking up to the ceiling. Okay. Oh, that's a nice big stretch. And then bring it back down to neutral. Okay. And then into what my old physio, the chap I used to see, Endegard, what he calls the Superman pose. But I've since learned it in yoga, it's called bird dog. And that's where we're going to lift up our left leg and point our toes straight out behind us. Lift up our right arm and point our fingers out in front of us. And stretch both so you can touch both sides of the room that you're in. If you're in a very small room, I do apologise. But hopefully in a large enough room, this isn't quite possible. Bring your shin objective. Okay, from there, lower your leg and go the other side. So push your toes. Push your hands forwards as far as you can get them. That's it. Stretch out. Get your body as long as you possibly can. And then down. And then back to the first one. Left leg, right arm. Push them out. Point your toes, point your fingers. Really feel that stretch across your back. And down. And same. Left arm, right leg. point them as far as we can. Really push all the way through. And back down. Okay. From here, we're going to push our backside backwards. Keep our hands long as far as we can. And get our body as close to the ground as we can as we move into a child's pose. We can touch our forehead to the ground, great. You don't have to though if you can, it's not a big deal. Just feel a stretch in your hips, down your back, across your shoulders. And we're going to transition that by pushing ourselves forward along the ground. Our legs go out straight. And then push the ground away. Looking up towards the ceiling. Feel that stretch down the front of our body. And then we're going to reverse that again. So bring ourselves back down. Push ourselves backwards. Back into child's pose. Bring that stretch across our back, into our hips, across our shoulders. And one more time. We'll bring it forwards. Into a cobra. Looking up towards the ceiling. Feel a nice stretch again down our back. And then back up onto all fours. Okay. Stand up. Shake yourself off. Go get yourself a nice drink. And as always, have an absolutely super day today. Whatever it is that you're going to be doing, make sure you find time for fun, time for laughter, time for friends, time for family, time for success in yourself and fulfillment in whichever way that you would like to do. And have an absolutely super day and a super life ahead. All right. Bye-bye for now.